Hey guys. Okay, so this is the first time that I've really assigned you guys something that really needs to have some kind of explanation to it. And since not everybody is getting on to Google Meet, which you're supposed to because it's a grade, I wanted to do a video directional kind of thing. So the assignment for Wednesday and Thursday is presidential quarantine houses. I saw this really cool thing on social media, and if you guys have social media, I know you've probably seen it. People are choosing restaurants, celebrities, athletes. What house would you want to be quarantined in if you had to be quarantined? We, of course, are doing the presidential White House edition. So, since we're on the presidential unit, I thought this would be kind of fun and just something that you guys could do that's not so demanding and just something that could be just a little fun and creative. So, for the event, I'm wearing my FDR earrings. I know you can't see them, but FDR is on a dime. So if you have a dime, that is FDR. Okay. And these are little tiny dimes. Yeah. So he's my favorite president. And so naturally, you can guess which house that I'm going to want to pick. But let me show you what it looks like. Okay. Go here. Okay. So this is what it looks like. I made this. I'm awesome. Go me. Okay, there's my little Bitmoji saying hey. Okay, so what you need to do, I'm going to zoom in just a little bit. Okay, not that much. Go back. Zoom in like, okay, just it is what it is. Okay, so this is Quarantine House, White House Edition. So you got the White House in the background, and then there's 8 houses to pick from. Okay. Um, some of these guys I'm sure that you've never probably heard of, but that's the whole point in this because I want you to kind of get a little interested in some of our presidents. So I'll just give you kind of a brief overview from some that you might not have heard of before. Let's see here. L.B. Johnson, he became president after Kennedy was assassinated. So he led this, he was one of the leaders of the civil rights movement. He's pretty cool. Jefferson, you should have heard of course. Let's see. Andrew Jackson, he's from Tennessee. I really hate Andrew Jackson, but some people love him. He's on the back of the $20 bill. Okay. Nixon, he was the first and only president to resign. So that's interesting. Let's see here. Ford, he played football. He played college football at the University of Michigan, by the way. Taft, he was 300 pounds and he got stuck in a bathtub. If you guys have done your presidential scavenger hunt, you probably have got at least a little idea of who these guys kind of are. Reagan, that is Miss Meyer's favorite president. President Hoover. President Hoover was the president when the the market, I can't even talk, the stock market crashed, and when the Great Depression started, he did absolutely nothing. When I say nothing, I genuinely mean nothing to try to fix the economy. He thought the economy would fix itself. So a lot of people, of course, were homeless, and they were building these little homeless shelters out of like cardboard and scrap metal. And these little places were called Hoovervilles. And so that was kind of like a slap in the face to President Hoover. Kennedy, you guys know who Kennedy is. Eisenhower, I met his his grandson. Yeah, I met his grandson, David Eisenhower. He's pretty cool. Now you can see there are 2 Bushes on here. Okay. George W. Bush and George H.W. Bush. This one was the one who was president during 9/11. You guys are most familiar with this one. The H. Bush was president. He's the dad. Okay. He was president in the 90s. Okay. Let's see here. President McKinley, a lot of people don't know this, but we've actually had 4 presidential assassinations, and McKinley is one of them. I know this is going to sound bad, but I don't mean it this way. McKinley's assassination story is a very interesting one, so that might be something you want to look up. Truman was president when FDR died, so he kind of saw out World War II and the start of the Cold War, so he had a lot going on. Jimmy Carter, he's from Georgia. So you might like that. So these are the houses. So which one would you want to be quarantined in? It could be solely based on one person. It could be solely based on 2, and you might not know the other 3. But this is the point in this assignment. So you are going to pick a house. Okay. This is just a little board. You don't have to do anything with this. Okay. But when you go back to the assignment, this right here is the direction sheet. Okay, I've got the houses listed again. What you're going to do is you're going to make a Google slide presentation. Okay, so first, pick a house. 2, you're going to make a Google slide. Okay, and then you're going to make a slide for each president. Okay, and I'll show you an example here in just a second. And then you're going to write a paragraph telling me a little constructed response, telling me based on what you've learned, why would you want to be stuck in that house? Okay. Obviously, I would not want to be stuck with Andrew Jackson because I learned in my history research that he's kind of a little racist. Okay. So I probably wouldn't want to be stuck with him. So that's just something that you can put in there. Like President Hoover, I would definitely not want to be stuck with him because he did nothing for the country. So he's not going to be productive in the quarantine house. So here's the steps. Make a visually appealing title with your name, which is one slide. The next slide needs to be, the house I would like to be quarantined with is. That's just one slide. And then since there are 5 presidents in each, you're going to have 5 slides that has a biographical information, like a little sketch about them, who they were, where they came from, what are they known for when they were president, okay? And then a picture beside it, okay? And then the very end, you're going to have a 1 paragraph, 5 to 7 sentences. 5 to 7 sentences on why you want to be in this house. That's just one slide, okay? And then, of course, a resource slide. I'm not too picky about you putting it in MLA format or anything. So just copy the link, the URL link, and throw it in there. That's fine. You do not have to cite your pictures. I'm not too worried about that. But all of this needs to be in your own words. Okay, I'm not going to reiterate that anymore. You guys actually have been doing a lot better than my juniors on this, so thank you. But all of this needs to be in your own words, okay? Now, obviously, George Washington is from Virginia. Okay, like that's a fact. I understand that. That's okay. But when you start using words that are, college level, I'm going to start questioning just a little bit, okay? So no copy and pasting, just in your own words. If you were to tell, mom, dad, sister, brother, whoever, okay, about what you learned about President McKinley, what would you tell them, okay? So in your own words. Then you need to attach your Google Slides to this assignment, or you need to share it with me, and this is my email. If you don't do either of those, I'm going to assume that you didn't do it, and it is going to be a 0, okay? If you want to do extra credit, you can present your presentation to me, kind of like what I'm doing with you guys right now. All you have to do is get this Google extension called Screencastify, and then just attach the video in your Google Classroom, or you can share it with me, whatever you want to do, because it goes to your job. So that's extra credit. You don't have to do step 4. But anyways, this is the direction sheet. This is the quarantine houses. I know it's so pretty. By the way, I made this at like 3 o'clock in the morning because I couldn't sleep one day. This is my example that I made. I made it patriotic, red, white, and blue, because it's the president. You don't have to do that. It's whatever you want. I would pick presidential quarantine house number 1 because you have like the best of the best. You got Washington in there. Hello, who doesn't want to meet Washington? President Lincoln, love him for saving the Union, keeping the Union together from the Civil War. FDR, of course, again, my favorite president. So these are this is the house that I would want because I think these are some pretty legit guys. James Madison, he wrote the Constitution. Pretty cool. Teddy Roosevelt, if you are any kind of outdoorsy, you would probably get along with Teddy Roosevelt. He got his nickname supposedly from saving a little baby cub bear. He loved to ride horses. He loved to go hunting. He loved nature. He's actually the reason why we have national parks today. So I think those are some solid guys. So that's who I would pick. Okay, so here are my 5 slides. Okay, you've got George Washington. I've got a picture of him. He was a founding father from Virginia. He was the first president of the United States. He had strong military leadership in the Revolutionary War. And the last part, this is what he did as president. Okay, so James Madison. Now, this is all highlighted yellow stuff just to kind of help you. Obviously, this isn't a biographical sketch of Madison. Make sure you read this. This is some good stuff, okay? Each president needs to be at least 5 to 7 sentences, okay? It needs to be a paragraph, okay? Who is he? When was he president? What did he do as president? What was going on in the country during his presidency, and how did he handle it? So, for example, President Trump. Obviously, the most important thing that's happened in his presidency is COVID-19, right? So how is he handling it? And obviously, we're living in the present. We can't really have those history books yet, but each president has a major thing that was happening, and how did he handle it? Okay. This is a lot of freedom for you to discuss some important topics, but keep it brief. I don't expect you guys to write a book on James Madison. Okay. There's a lot of information, but pick what you think is the coolest. Like, I'm not going to judge you. Like, if you don't think McKinley's assassination isn't cool, then I'm not going to judge you. If you found something else that you thought was cooler, then put that in there. Okay. And if you like Andrew Jackson, that's awesome. I know lots of people who like Andrew Jackson. Coach Fleming loves them, right? So, when we are thinking about what they did as president, we're thinking about, was there a pandemic? Was there a war going on? Did he take in new land, right? President Polk took in a lot of land. How did he deal with the Native Americans? That's something that was big in Andrew Jackson's presidency. Did he abolish slavery, right? Was he dealing with the Iranian hostage crisis? What are some events that was going on that kind of made his presidency big, right? And your pictures can be silly if they want. I'm okay. You can be creative with it, but make it appropriate. There's Teddy Roosevelt. There's my man, FDR. Okay. Well, that says Abe Lincoln, but just ignore it. Okay. And then here's your paragraph, your second to last slide. I would like to be quarantined with house number 1 because, okay, this is all opinionated. All opinionated. Okay. If you learn something about, I don't know, President Taft, like, I don't know, this is kind of stereotypical, but I don't know, he was 300 pounds. He got stuck in a bathtub. I don't know, maybe he'd eat all the quarantine snacks, right? I don't know. Be creative with it. It's up to you. And then your sources at the end, again, just copy and link that, or just copy and paste the link. That's fine. And you are not required to cite your pictures. Okay. So I hope you don't have any questions. I am going to be explaining this again on Google Meet, not in this much detail because I expect you to watch this video. So if you have any other questions, we can Google Meet separately. You can text me, you can call me, whatever it is, I'm here for you. You can email me, comment on the Google assignment, whatever you need. So I think I'm done. I hope you pick some good houses. Okay, I'm done. I miss you guys. I love you guys. I hope you're doing okay. And I'm really sad that I don't get to see you, but stay safe, okay? Okay. Love you. Bye.